Hey guys, Gus69 from Metal Open Mind Brazil. As I promised, I'm doing a vinyl update, exclusively metal releases. I have a couple 7 inches and about 10 12-inch records that I'm gonna show to you that I've been buying since January or late December. So I decided to do this because I never did only metal vinyl updates on this channel, so it's a good idea to do that. And I will start off with the 7 inches. First off, I got this Interceptor. It's a Brazilian band from my hometown. They only released one full album in 2016, but this 7 inch with 2 tracks was released a year before, 2015. It's called Loud Whispers of Hell and only have 2 songs. Let me show you the guys. The songs are No One Can Catch You and Run Like Hell. They play like heavy metal, hard rock, pretty much like Motorhead. Very good stuff from a Brazilian band. I wish I had their debut, but I think they only released like a digital release, not on physical format yet. And I don't know if they are still active, but very cool. 7 inch, 2 songs, pretty good. They have a video clip for one of the tracks.
Now take your clothes, start to put it in your bag. Now the guns that clear the scene, get hell off to the west. They try to catch you, baby. If they have gone to lady, they don't have mercy. They try to shoot you back. Your nose is smelling blood. Wait there inside your head. Roar like a hell. Straight to the hills before the country.
Very good bands. Interceptor, my first pick. The other one is this one. This is actually a split single, split EP with a Brazilian band, Elvetin Viemarit. It's in Finnish because they sing in Finnish, but they are a Brazilian band. And the other side is a Finnish band called Kuolema. So 2 bands on this compact. But it's on 33 RPM. Everything has 5 songs and Kuolema has 3 songs in here. So this is more like a split EP. And I was waiting for this to arrive, but took some time. I was going to show for Aramuta Alamer contest, where we had to show something that we learned from another VC member. And I was going to show this one because I didn't know it's a Brazilian band, Everything Via Merit, but I didn't know, and I learned about them with Tommy, the Vinyl. He's a great punk hardcore guy from Finland, and he told me about them. He actually wanted me to try to find this in other release from this band because he loves this band, and I got curious because I didn't know about them. They have many releases, but I think that they have one full album in cassette tape, but most of their releases are split albums, singles, and things like that. Everything via merit, they sing in Finnish, but they don't speak Finnish very well. I know that I read on an interview with one of the guys that the singer, he put the words on the Google Translate to make the word, and they sing in Finnish. I don't know why. I think they love the hardcore scene in Finland, and they are inspired by that. So it's unique stuff from a Brazilian band. Everything via merit. Now I have some of their work. This is not metal, it's more hardcore, punk hardcore, very crude, very raw, very fast. And Kuolema, the Finnish band, it's more noisier than Helvetin via merit. And this is not my jam, but I decided to pick because it's a band from Brazil that, as far as I know, their name is more talked about overseas than here in Brazil. So if you like hardcore punk stuff, everything via merit from Brazil. Now I'm gonna start showing the vinyl records, 12-inch. All of them I bought online. They are all second-hand, nothing new. Some of them I used to have in the 80s, and as you guys know, I sold my collection in the early 90s, and slowly, since I restarted collecting back in late 2010s, I'm trying to get the stuff that I used to have on my collection, and but there is some newer stuff that I got. First one is this, still on hardcore punk vibe, See You in Hell. This is a band that I didn't know anything about, and I decided to grab because it was very cheap, and I kind of like it. They are from the Czech Republic, and they sing in Czech, so I will butcher the title of the album is Umet se prodat here. And the funny thing about this is when I bought, I didn't know, and I put to listen, and it sounded like a very slow death metal, but it's actually a 45 RPM, so it's very fast. And there is a song here, I think it's the very last one, is not Zitra for me it's the best one, with a pretty cool guitar solo, which I was not expecting. So my first Czech Republic band on vinyl, See You in Hell. Now the metal stuff. 2 albums from a Canadian band that both I used to have in the 80s, and I'm pretty glad to get them back to my collection. 2 Exciter albums, Long Live the Loud and Unveiling the Wicked. So Exciter is a heavy metal, speed metal band that when I discovered them with their debut album, Heavy Metal Maniac, I fall in love with that band. And I got to see them live in '87, opening for Venom here in São Paulo, and I was amazed to see their drummer Dan Bieler singing and playing, and amazing. And after that, I started buying their stuff. Unfortunately, I sold, and now I have them back on my collection. 2 albums. This was released '85, but in Brazil '87. And this one was released in '86, but also in Brazil in '87. Both Music for Nations release, but here in Brazil they got released by Woodstock Discos, a record store that I used to buy metal records in the 80s. So pretty glad to find these 2. All the albums that I'm gonna show, the 12-inch albums, are all Brazilian releases. From original release, the first time they were released here in Brazil. Now we're going to Germany. Another one that I had back in the 80s, Iron Angel. This is their second studio album, Winds of War. I also used to have their debut, Hellish Crossfire. I'm still on the looking for that one to get back to my collection, but I'm pretty happy to find these. They are also heavy metal, a little bit speed metal too. This is the guys. Good bands. Nothing really stands out for this band, but it's a good release. Also, Woodstock Discos. I'm trying to get all the release that they put out. I think they release 80 or something release, and I'm trying to get everyone that were released back then. This was from Steam Rammer, original from '86. So Iron Angel, and they are still active. They reformed in 2000s. Good bands. Another band from Germany, and this is my because back in the 80s I used to have their first 2 albums on vinyl, but after I sold my collection I never got any albums from this band on CD, but I have their discography on digital downloads, of course. But I'm pretty happy to get this renewal by Creator. Everybody knows Creator, they are still active, great bands, but in the 90s they kind of start changing their sound. With these records they kind of change a little, more groovier, and many fans start disliking the band on the 90s. But it's a good album. The title track is great, has some faster tracks, but it's different. Mali Pretzosa, singer and guitar player, still the main former member to this day. And I got to see them live on Gods of Violence tour here in Brazil. First time I saw them live, I got this poster from the gig with Arch Enemy and other bands. Pretty cool gig, and it was in 2018. Great band, still active, still amazing stuff. I hope to get more, and of course the first two, Pleasure to Kill and Endless Pain, the debut. I used to have them, and they are hard to find and very expensive, but someday I will get them. Now some bands from North America, US. Fake bands, Exorcist, the one and only release by this made-up band. It's called Nightmare Theatre. I used to have this, and I'm glad that I find it again. Sorry, the glare. This was a band put together by Zoran Buzek from the label Cobra. They made two other fake bands, Pile Driver and Original Sin. And on this one, the guy behind the music was Dave DeFace from Virgin Steel, but nobody knew back then. Nobody knew who were the guys from this band. Was as John from Bebop Boom channel said wisely on my Instagram post. I will quote him: one of the best Metaploitations records ever. So, Exorcist, great heavy metal stuff. Another band that kind of passed me by in the 80s, and I'm glad to find because I like very much. It's more thrash. It's called Realm. This is Endless War. It's from '88. Very good bands, kind of melodic vocals, but speed, thrash, heavy metal influences. Very good bands. Very glad to find this one. And they reformed in 2019, so they don't put out anything new yet, but eventually they will. So keep an eye on Realm, very good bands from Wisconsin. Finally, the last band from the US that I have here, it's called Gothic Slam. This is another one that I used to have back in the 80s. Just a Face in the Crowd is the second and last album by this band. I didn't remember how good is this. Very good thrash metal, a little bit crossover, but very trashy. Very the chorus of the songs are very memorable. Very good stuff. Gothic Slam. They had a debut before this, and after this album they split up. So the only thing that I found about this band is that their drummer, Dave Chiavari, he played in many bands, Propane, Les Rocket. He played with Soulfly Live and some other bands, and I saw him live with El Nino, a nu metal band that I have the pleasure to see live 2 times in Portugal, and it's the same drummer. I didn't know. Dave Chiavari, Gothic Slam, very good thrash metal band from US. Now the last 2 albums are from Brazilian bands. One from the 80s, and I have a little story about this. Thomas from the Merciful Metal channel, if you are watching this, I don't know if you have this one, but I'm certain that you love this album. The debut from Voodoo, The Final Conflict. I used to have this also. Now I grabbed it again. And the story about this is that after this album, this was released in '86. So after that they toured, and the singer left the band. In '87, I had a heavy metal band called Ranger. And my singer, the singer from my band, was invited to join this band. And he came up to talk to us because they had already a release and we are recording demo tapes. And we said, go on, take your chances. And he ended up recording their second full length and other 2 EPs with this band. So Claudio, the singer, the former singer of Ranger, my band, ended up playing with this band. They kind of split up for many years, but they came back in 2007, they came back and they are active. I think they are releasing a new album or just released a new album with a new formation. Yeah, it's very good. The problem with this is the production. The sound is not very good, the mixing, but they play very well. The bass player is very good, André, who used to work in a metal magazine here in Brazil, Rock Brigade, which is the label that released this album. And when my band Ranger released the second demo with a new singer, Andre was he did the review of our demo in the magazine. So pretty cool coincidence. Voodoo from Brazil. And finally, a band that I wasn't aware of, but I heard many people from overseas talking about this band. This is kind of one-man band, but live he has invited musicians to play with him. Is the bass and singer Whip Striker is the name of the guy, the code name, and also the band. Pretty cool artwork on this release. This is the second studio album. They have 4 already. Was released in 2013 by Hell Music on clear vinyl. This is the guy here. So these bands, if you don't know them, they are a blend of Motorhead with Venom. It's the simple way to explain their sound. Very old school, very raw, very fast at times. But when they get slower parts or mid-paced songs, they remember a lot Venom. So if you like Venom, try Whip Striker. Very good band from Brazil. So I showed 10 albums, metal albums that I got lately. 2 compact discs, 2 compact singles, 7-inch. And this, when I ordered this one, the guy sent me this CD as a bonus, and this is what we have been listening on this video. It's another Brazilian band called Let's Sigh, and it's kind of metalcore, melodic death metal. It's good stuff I didn't know about. Brazil is so big that we have so many bands and releases that you cannot know everything, but another good band to show. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed. If you are not into metal, I'm sorry. This one only heavy, speed, thrash, some hardcore punk, so very noise updates. And that's it for now. Hope you liked it, and see you next time.